Hey there, it's Tank Girl, and this is the Motorola Droid 2. It just arrived this morning. I just did an unboxing video for you guys. So I've taken off the stickers and we're going to do a first power up, power on. Let me give you a quick tour of the phone again without the stickers. So starting on the left side, here is the USB port, micro USB. There's really nothing here up to the port. Nothing again. The bottom here you've got the microphone, which has been relocated from the top to the bottom, top of the edge here. It used to be under there, but this didn't exist in the original Droid. On the left side here you've got the double detent camera button, which is great because it means if you press once a little bit it focuses, you press again it takes the shot. All phones should have camera buttons like that. None of this touch to focus stuff. I mean, touch to focus is useful, but I find that it should be optional or additional. Volume up and down buttons here. This is again the left side, and here at the very top you have power button and the headphone jack, and nothing else on the top. So let's see the front here. So we've got the speaker. Let me get you a better angle. Speaker, and can't really see if there's any sensors. Let me just hold it backwards. I don't want to hit the camera. Yeah, there's a sensor there, but that's about it. So it's the same front as the original Droid, and the keys at the bottom are menu, home. Let's see if we can focus here. Menu, home, back, and search. Again, these have the order has changed for these. I'm going to explain this in a second. The other big difference versus the Droid, original Droid, is that this little lip here didn't exist. It was, you'd see the bottom, the keyboard part underneath. Basically this part here was visible when this was closed and the microphone was there. So they've changed that. I don't know if I like it as much. In the back, and do it upside down again because I'm going to bump the camera. It's 5 megapixel camera. Autofocus, flash, 480p widescreen video recording, no HD. Same as the original. And then you got the battery door with the Motorola logo, Verizon logos, and the Google logo. And here's the speaker grill for the back. It's silver now instead of bronze. And now the other thing I wanted you to notice, this is not an illusion from the camera. This does look blue, and it actually is blue. It's still the same soft touch finish, but it was black, kind of brownish black on the original. And this rim that's chrome was kind of a smoke black color on the original. So the keyboard now, I'll give you a quick close-up. Much more domed. I don't know if you can see it very well here, but it feels better. The key travel is still pretty small though. As you notice, the D-pad's gone. Now you have an inverted T cursor key here, and a lot more room for the keyboard, much better layout, staggered keys. I think a lot of people are going to like that much better. Alright, so why the keys in a different order? Well, the original Droid used to run straight up Android, and still runs straight up Android FroYo 2.2. This also runs FroYo, but this runs Motorola's quote-unquote Ninja Blur UI, basically a very, very lightweight version of Blur, which is the same UI found on the Motorola Droid X, which I also have. Check out my videos for that. So let's power this guy up and see what happens. This is my first time turning it on. There we go. Motorola logo. This gorgeous screen. It's a 3.7-inch active matrix TFT display. Same as the original, 854 by 480 pixels. It's a little Droid eye. This boot animation seems to me almost exactly the same as on the Droid X. The only difference right now between this, you heard the Droid sound, between this and the Droid X is it's running FroYo, and Droid X is still running 2.1, hasn't been updated yet. So nothing exciting happened. It's also possible this was already booted before because the PR people probably activated it for me since it's a review unit. So it's pretty much the same layout as the Droid X here on a slightly smaller screen. You've got this little this little tutorial that can run up here. Let me give you a close-up. You know, so see all your app. Let's see. Touch the launcher icon, which is this guy. And this is the app tray. And this is basically the same as on the Droid X again. This is your dialer. No contacts. This is your contacts, and no contacts. Except for all the emergency numbers that Verizon likes to put in their phones. And so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 screens total. You can see the location you're in here. As far as the screen goes, you're back to the home, 3 more on the other side. And it comes with its own widgets. See, it's a little sluggish because it's loading the widgets as it goes. But, you know, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't continue with straight up Android. And honestly, other people have already mentioned this. The performance difference, this has a faster processor. This is the major difference, is the new keyboard and the faster processor. This has the same chipset as the Droid X, which is a 1 gigahertz chipset, whereas the original Droid was a slower chipset. The camera hasn't been changed and improved in any way. We're still looking at the same specs. So, you know, the only major difference is the software, the Moto Blur shell, and the CPU and the keyboard. So, and some cosmetic changes that I went through already. I also wanted to quickly point out that the headphone jack is recessed compared to the original Droid, if it will focus. There, you can see it a little better now. Yeah, and I'm not sure, you know, you can probably get a really good deal on the original Droid. You can root it. It runs straight up Android. It has FroYo now. I'm not sure if it's worth it, unless you really like the better keyboard, to upgrade to a Droid 2, since you're now kind of stuck with the shell, which is nearly quite as nice. But it's nice that it slides to landscape for the home screen. Very few Android phones have a landscape home screen, other than the Streak. And I guess the original Droid did too. But as you can see, the screen is very pretty high res. You know, it's a pretty bright day. It's sunny out there, as you can tell. And it's doing pretty well. So let me just maybe go to the web browser here and bring up my blog and see what the keyboard feels like and give you some feedback. So I'm just going to type a search here in the box. Search for TNKGRL and go enter. See what happens. And so here's my blog. Tap on that and see what happens. I'm over 3G obviously here. So this is the mobile version. Let's go to the full-blown version. Yes. And load it. I haven't set up Wi-Fi. I just got this, so literally this is my second video in the last half hour. And as you can see, it's loading really quite quickly and it's nice and smooth. Nothing surprising here. This is Android. This is not just Android, but it's FroYo, and FroYo rocks. So there you go. It's pretty quick. Now I haven't installed the Flash plugin yet. Well, maybe it is installed by default, but check this out. The videos are working. I'm not sure if this is the Flashlight plugin or the actual real Flash plugin. If not, with FroYo you can actually download and install the real Flash plugin. This is my BlackBerry Tour unboxing video here. Interesting. It gives me, if I tap on it, it gives me a choice to see it in the browser and see it in YouTube. But let's see it embedded. I'd like to see it embedded. Hey there, it's Tank Girl, and today I'd like to unbox there you go. BlackBerry Torch. This is pretty meta. Now, you know, this is nothing surprising. I've been using FroYo on my Nexus 1 for quite a while now. And so it can do this as well. And you can do this on the Evo now that it's been updated to FroYo. You can install the full Flash. So, you know, this is one of the great things about Android. I'm not, necessarily a big proponent of Flash, but it's nice to have the option. So anyway, let's see. What else is there to show you? I'm not going to get into too many specifics. I want to just give you specifics about the blur, but it's very lightweight. So it's a lot better, I think, than blur was on the older Motorola phones. But still, I would prefer straight up Android. Check on the web. There's a bunch of people who've done videos on the specific of blur. I'd rather set this up with my preferred settings before I give you a demo, so I'm a little more familiar with layout and everything. And but you know, it's the same setup. You got the Android and Motorola widgets. Some of the Motorola widgets are a little different. So here are some of them. Social networking. You know, again, most of this you don't really need. All you need to do is maybe install like a good Twitter client, the Facebook client, some quick for video streaming, and you know, maybe double twist for media, and you're pretty much all ready to go. So anyway, it's kind of like, it feels like I'm coming home to a device I used 6 months ago or 9 months ago, as it were, the original Droid. It's a very strange feeling in some ways, because it's familiar yet different. But stay tuned for a camera review of this phone. You know that I like to do camera reviews, so I'll have something up hopefully pretty soon to see if there's been any changes to the camera. I hear the user interface is different. It's the same UI as the Droid X, which isn't necessarily a good thing. It doesn't really enhance the experience on the Droid X very much. So we'll see how it goes. But that being said, I will take it for a spin. So anyway, I'm Tank Girl. This is a Droid 2 from Motorola and Verizon. Keep an eye on my blog for more information. The blog is Tank Girl Mobile. The URL is tnkgrl.wordpress.com. Take a look and stay tuned. Cheers.